Hey, it's me, Brooks. Welcome to Heal This. I hope you're having a great day. I want to introduce you to my guest today. Her name is Melinda Loo, and she is a licensed massage therapist. She's also a holistic practitioner. She has 22 years of experience in the holistic health field, and she is also a mentor and a coach and an advocate for other massage therapists. She also does frequency healing, which I am completely fascinated with, as you know. And she's also an entrepreneur. So I'm hoping that we can have really great conversations about massage and healing and frequency healing and learning how to make our way in this world today using holistic modalities and really looking at the whole person. So let's do it. Hi, Melinda. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. So you have a lot of experience and a lot of different modalities. And I was wondering if we could start with massage and
Mm.
what that looked like for you, why you chose it, how you got to the point where you decided you really needed to help other massage therapists. So, yeah, I'll turn some time over to you.
Sure, I'll try and share the medium length version because
Yeah,
it's a
right.
little bit of a story.
Yep,
But,
I'm sure.
you know, I started as a professional dancer early in my career, and I had dance injuries. And I remember my teacher telling me to go get a therapeutic massage for my Achilles tendonitis.
Yeah,
And that was me starting as a massage client on the table myself. And I remember feeling so amazing after that session and having that thought, I didn't know that I could feel this good. I didn't know this was possible to feel this good.
yeah.
And so then I kind of became a massage junkie and I was a regular client and I tried different massage modalities and I felt amazing and it really did help my injury. And I
Right.
felt so encouraged that I stumbled on something incredible that helped me get back to feeling better and feeling my best because I was so young also.
Right.
I feel like I had not only dance injuries, but I did also have some gut concerns and
Hmm.
candida issues. I tell
Yeah.
people that I grew up on fast food, candy, and antibiotics, which is the
Yeah.
perfect formula for gut issues
Yeah.
for the
I can
rest of your
relate.
life. So
Yeah.
by the time I was 19, I was pretty much a hot mess and already in a position to be seeking holistic health and healing.
Yes.
And so
Which
usually people who are
really
young,
wasn't a
yeah, don't
thing
feel
at
like
that point. At,
right.
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, most people get into it a little later in life because it takes a little longer for them to become a hot mess, but I was a hot mess at 19. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how I got into the field. And it was very natural for me to go from the performing arts to the healing arts because I also had a feeling that the performing arts wasn't for me anymore.
Hmm.
And that I felt a lot of the industry was shady and there would be some things that I would have to do that were not high integrity in order for me to be successful in the performing arts field. And
Yep.
I wasn't interested in doing that. So I was actually so relieved in a way to be embraced in a field where I could be a good person and a high integrity person and really thrive and succeed in this whole other world that wasn't performing arts. So that's how I became a client. And then I was really fortunate enough to be, if you will, recognized. You know how in the modeling world there's scouts? There's like
Hmm.
a person who's scouting models and the general public. I've sort of scouted as a massage therapist, and that this couple
Nice.
sort of took me under their wing And they put me through massage school because they felt like I had aptitude, I had potential, that I would make a great body worker. And so they said, we would like to put you through school. And then when you're finished with school, you'll work for us and you can pay us back and we'll train you to be a therapist.
That's so nice.
And so it's really fortunate to learn master student style, which is kind of how a lot
Mm,
of the healing arts has been taught over many centuries. It's only
yes.
really become a licensed profession recently with various schools, having a certain curriculum and what have you. So I feel like I was trained, yeah, sort of old school, just like under the wing of a master practitioner. And so I'm really fortunate that I learned what the highest standards were right out the gate. I didn't
Nice.
know what lower standards were until later in my career because I had the best examples and they
Mm-hmm.
were sort of the top of their field, and so that was my first introduction. It was just all amazing right from the beginning. I was amazed as a client, I was amazed as a student, as an apprentice. And so then later I kind of went off on my own, and it was easy for me to thrive right away because I had such great training and I was mentored by the best, if you will, that I
Mm-hmm.
felt really well prepared and equipped to succeed and thrive right away early on. Well, then I moved to Connecticut, and this was where my hours in California didn't transfer. And I learned that the massage school system, was not the same in every state. So I had to make a decision. Am I going to go to massage school all over again to be a
Right.
massage therapist? Am I that committed to the field that I'm willing to go to massage school all over again? And in this program, it would have been a 2-year commitment. So I hemmed and hawed. Am I that committed to being a massage therapist? I could have gone to school for anything else.
Right.
And I felt like, man, I am a body worker. It was already something I had identified as. It was
Yep.
already something I felt so successful with that I wasn't willing to let it go. And so I went to massage school all over again. And it was then that I realized the lower standards of teaching and
Yeah.
education. And I was, in a way, really shocked and appalled. I can't believe they're letting these students go out into the field this
Right.
unprepared to succeed and thrive. And so
Right.
that's what really stirred up my passion for teaching. Oh, I didn't know that other students weren't going to be well prepared to succeed and thrive in the field. I'm so lucky that I had that education and training. So then it was very natural for me to want to help other massage therapists because I was earning 6 figures as a massage therapist in my private practice for many years. And I didn't think that I was that special or talented, right? Like if someone taught me, why can't I teach others?
Right.
Some people look at anyone who's successful or thriving as sort of this untouchable figure, and they're so lucky and they're so amazing. And I don't know if I could ever do that, but I wanted to bridge that gap. Like, no, you can do what I'm
Right.
doing. I was just taught to do it, and I did have some natural aptitude and passion for the field. But if you at least have that, then you can be trained, you can learn, and you can
Absolutely.
succeed. So then I started coaching as a mentor to other massage therapists in 2016, and the rest is history.
Yeah. Oh wow. Well, thank you. That's amazing. And I love hearing people's stories, how it calls you in and you just go for it. And I love that. And I what an awesome gift to have someone help you, because a lot of times we don't
Mm-hmm.
get that. And they showed you, and then they showed you how to show other people, even though maybe they didn't even say that,
Yes.
but it was kind of that training. And
Well,
you're
actually, they
right.
did.
Oh, good. Okay, good. I wasn't sure. But you're right. For so long, we were an apprentice, right? We had someone showing us right next to them. They were the master at it, and we learned from
Mhm.
them. And now we really don't have that in so many different occupations. But in body work,
Right.
for sure. We don't. And also, there's so many different parts of having your own massage business, bodywork business, that I love that you touch on, because not only are you doing body work, but you are in someone else's space. And then there's a whole other business part. I mean, it's a big deal. And just because you like to receive massage doesn't mean that you are going to be a really great massage therapist and entrepreneur and, you know, um, be able to talk to people. So there's
Yeah.
lots of different parts of it. And I'm sure that you're very helpful when people come in to talk to you about being mentored or coaching. And what are your thoughts about all of that?
Yeah, I do realize now that, each person has their own unique vision and path, for whatever success is for them. So I'm sort of naturally ambitious. I do have a taste for growth, if you will. Like, I am always interested in continuous growth and continuous improvement. And so I tend to, because of that, attract massage therapists that are also naturally ambitious and have larger goals for their life.
Yes,
So, to each their own. Not everybody is ambitious. Not everybody wants to be self employed. Not everybody wants to earn six figures. And so when it comes to coaching and mentoring, I tend to attract what we are, right? I tend to attract the therapists that are what I term as the top 20% of the field. The Pareto principles, the 80-20 rule, and they say
hmm
20% of, like, let's just say massage therapists are actually servicing 80% of the business, and vice versa. 80% are sort of fighting over the 20%. And so
hmm
I lean towards, and it's my brand, to help the most ambitious therapists move into that top 20% if they're not already there. And it is sort of the circle of life. Like, people are moving out of it, people are
sure.
moving into it. People are retiring who were at the top of the field, and or maybe they're going to part-time hours, or maybe they're pivoting to some other profession. And so there's always room for someone to move up. And so I'm
Yes,
really focused on those therapists that are passionate about self-employment, they're passionate about reaching larger goals and leveraging their practice for higher earnings. Similar to what I feel like holistic doctors do with their practice, or chiropractors or
absolutely.
acupuncturists. It's just a little more, it's less common for massage therapists to view themselves as someone who can do the same thing. You can.
Yes, yes. Okay, so let's talk about this. So you talk about how massage therapists should have more of a title, right? Because we are somewhat doctors of muscles and soft tissues. So,
Yeah.
um, depending on how much time we spend understanding all of that, I mean, we have to know. We have to know all the systems in the body, every single bone, every single um, origin of attachment and insertion and action of muscles, which I don't think people really understand the depth of education that comes with.
Right.
I know for sure I did not understand when I started taking um, all of the classes for school to be licensed. And also, I don't know how many pathogens and can you massage them? And, the kinesiology that goes with all of that. And I mean, there's a lot that we learn. And
Mhm.
that is before we actually apply it to touching a body. Right. And so,
Right.
um, yeah, so and I would love, because you're just very well educated about this part, but please tell me about somewhat of the history of massage and why it is so important in our lives and how we have just lost that. And yes, self-care is great, but it is so much more than that.
Yeah. I mean, we are social, touch-driven, kinesthetic beings. That's just how we're designed. We're really designed to touch each other and heal each other. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just very natural and intuitive, without this as an industry yet. Like this is just, you see animals massaging each other, right? Like
Right.
cats massage, and you know,
Yeah.
it's sort of like just wired in us. It's just an instinctual thing.
Yes.
So I feel like there's that aspect, which is what makes it so easy to love and accept and be a part of, because it's just a natural part of our being, touch, healthy,
Yes.
healing touch. And then, yeah, for centuries, it has been developed into arts, like just like all of the healing arts. Body work is one of those healing arts. And there's been different variety. I think about just Earth has like all this diversity in life forms, all these
Mm-hmm.
plant forms, all these animal forms. And so we're sort of this expression of that. And that here we take massage and body work, and there's all this expression of a variety of different modalities of how you could express
Yes.
healing touch, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
there are a multiple of ways that you can touch a body to have an end result being some kind of healing result. And so that's where like the entire field, it's very similar to any other healing arts, like movement. Like think how many different styles of movement there
Absolutely.
are.
Yes.
Different diets, like nutrition. There's so many different nutritional diets. And so body work is really this whole piece of the pie, that some people are more familiar with and some people aren't familiar. I think when someone's starting their health journey and they're not including body work, you're missing an entire world of healthy living by not including the massage and body work part of this pie, right? When people just
Absolutely.
focus on
Yes.
diet and exercise or supplements and things like that, we so going back to, yes, why is it good for us? We're naturally kinesthetic beings. Also, if you know about fascia, and I feel like fascia education has become a little more popular in the last maybe 10 years or so. Fascia
Yes.
is the connective tissue that covers every aspect of our being, all of our muscles, bones, organs, tissues, cells. And so myofascia is the fascia specifically around the muscle tissue. But because
Mm-hmm.
all of the fascial connective tissue is touching every piece of your being, you can't not affect every aspect of your health in a way. So,
Yes.
when you're affecting soft tissue, you are affecting the nervous system, the circulatory system, the digestive system, all the systems, because
Right.
everything is connected and touching soft tissue. That's
Yes.
why I personally believe it is a form of medicine. You can't massage somebody and not affect their entire well-being in a positive way. So it's actually unfortunate that it's not considered a form of medicine, and there may be some
Right.
conspiracy theories out there as to why it hasn't been elevated to where doctors of soft tissue medicine, maybe in the future, who knows. I know certain countries really feel massage therapists are more healthcare, like Canada. Canada includes massage
Mm-hmm.
therapy as part of their healthcare system.
Right.
In America, we've got some massage therapists identifying as healthcare and doing more therapeutic, orthopedic, clinical type work. Then we have some massage therapists in the spas who are doing luxury, pampering, kind of
Sure.
spa massage. And then you do have, unfortunately, the dark side, which are people who are pretending to be massage
Yes.
therapists, doing shady things that make the entire field look bad. And so it's a little more convoluted in America, which is
Mm-hmm.
why we don't really get to have a lot of this like standardized title as, a healthcare practitioner. Although I'm sure you've seen that study going around recently. Is it Baylor University? It's one of the largest studies on massage therapy. Just published a statement saying that massage therapists actually should be considered a major part of healthcare, and that we're the hidden gems of healthcare, which is
Yay.
nice to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we already know that. I mean, anyone who's a massage client who has
Yes.
received incredible benefits on the table, we already feel that, we already know that. So it's
Right.
nice when science eventually catches up and proves
Mm-hmm.
through white paper research, yes, this is a legitimate form of healthcare or even maybe
Right.
medicine at some point. They're sort of late to the party, in my opinion. And
Right.
which is why I say to massage therapists, we don't have to wait to be given this credibility or credential. Like, just act like it. Just be that person in your
That's
community,
right.
and
That's
just
right.
give the clients on the table the experience, that's valuable and meaningful. And, plenty of massage
Yes.
clients already know.
That's right. And just holding that standard of integrity, that's what we are asked to do, and that's what we do, right? So, and it will eventually come back around, because that's actually how it started, like you said.
Right.
um you were talking about other modalities, and I think that you take what you've learned. Now, you were very fortunate to have, um, some mentors that were showing you, probably right out of the gate, like you said, some modalities and maybe some techniques and things like that, you're not going to find in school. But even after that, I think once you really get out there and you're, seeing people all the time, day in, day out, you start to say, okay, maybe I want to learn something a little new, and I want to add a little something to this, so that maybe I'm not putting so much pressure on my body, and I'm not wearing myself out and burning myself out. And also, I mean, sometimes it's just fun to add stretching or another modality into the routine that we do. And what have you learned about that? And what are some really, because I know you know some awesome things. So tell me about it.
Well, again, yeah, it's a whole world of exploration, and there are so many A, modalities, B, tools and technologies, or
Yes.
additional enhancements. There's a whole bunch of topicals. So it is, you come out of school, you're learning your basic Swedish deep tissue, generally.
Right.
And maybe you're lucky if you learn some acupressure or sort of Eastern arts, Thai massage or something like that. But once you're a new therapist, you're out in the field kind of exploring. And so I was more introduced to fascia therapies and Asian modalities. So I have had the tendency early on to lean towards fascia thinking and meridians and structural integration. And then when I went to school again, I was taught a little more kind of standard deep tissue, kind of more classic pain relief
Mm-hmm.
and pin and stretch,
Mm-hmm.
sort of orthopedic type work. So then it actually kind of had this really nice
Right.
toolbox, if you will, of different styles. And it does make it more interesting when you can bring more to the table. I kind of, when people try out for American Idol and they sing a cover song, right? But they
Right.
sing it exactly like the artist sings it. And then the judges tell them you need to make it your own. Put your own spin on it, make it your own
Right.
style so it doesn't sound exactly like the original artist. I feel that way about body work too. At some point, you move away from the protocols that you were taught and you start to create your own style, or it becomes your own expression as an artist. You're creating this
Yep.
unique experience based on these combinations of things that you've used. And so for me, yes, you're right. Over the years, you want to bring in new things. So I also noticed early on, doing so much heavier handed modalities like deep tissue, it wears you out. It wears out your hands. And
Mm-hmm.
so I became open to it, first called a fascia blaster tool. And
Mm-hmm.
my girlfriend really kind of convinced me to try it. And I'm like, oh, this is basically a meat tenderizer. And so I tried it, especially in some of my like larger men. They have like
Mm-hmm.
these large, dense bodies, and it's
Right.
hard on my hands. So I'm like, I'm going to use this meat tenderizer thing called a fascia blaster. And it really helped. It really did help save my hands.
Right.
And they were happy with the session because they wanted sort of like deep work. And then I started using silicone cups. And I
Yep.
realized that the silicone cups are doing a lot of fascia work that's like similar to skin rolling, which used to be hard
Yep.
on my hands also. So then I started to become open to all these different things I could bring in to make my job easier. And that's also where I added in the biomat, which is an infrared heat
Yeah.
therapy. And I noticed my clients were really relaxing faster on this infrared biomat. And
Yes.
I'm like, okay, this is making them more receptive. Their tissues are warm and pliable. And then you just kept going. I kept thinking, what else can I add? What else can I add? And so frequency tools and fascia tools kind of became my thing. And so at
Hmm.
this point, my session is about half tools and technologies and half hands-on work, mixed
Right.
with some of my own energy healing a little bit at the end. And so it's my unique session as an artist that's
Yeah,
different,
exactly.
and it's
Yes.
fun. It's fun.
Yes.
But I encourage all massage therapists to kind of do whatever their version of that is,
I agree.
make it your own.
Yes, I was thinking about clients when they come in, they're looking at the list of services.
The service
So,
menu.
yeah,
Yeah.
so they're looking at the list of services and they're thinking also about the price, right? Because that's
Mhm.
usually what we're doing. And we might have on there, 60 minutes or 90 minutes or 120 minutes. And of course,
Mhm.
I am pricing those according to my time, not necessarily what's going to
Mhm.
happen in that session, because for me, my time is
Right.
valuable. And what
Yep.
they a lot of times as clients don't understand is that you're coming in, and I understand 60 minutes, whatever it's priced at, still might be a good chunk of money for you. And I get that. But it has, you're walking around in that body doing a lot of stuff, and it takes me 30 minutes sometimes just to get to the part where I'm like, okay, now we're to the part that hurts. And it just took me a
Mhm.
while to warm you up and you to also relax and get to the part where we can actually do some work, because that's why you started looking at the services in the first place, was because you're in pain, right? And so I just think
Yeah.
it's good for everyone to know that it does take time to get to the part where your body will relax enough to let you know workers in, and also to even find some of the other things that are going on in there that might be contributing to the pain. I just think it's interesting because while you were saying all that, I just was thinking, we have those lengths of time not to just help you relax, because we all need to relax, but to really get into your tissues, because they can be really tight, and I just don't think people realize that that plays a part in the time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, each practitioner has their own belief around how much time they need to get a result. So it is
Sure.
kind of wild because I've seen therapists only offer 30-minute sessions because they're only working on the hips in that 30-minute time frame.
Sure.
Like they're the
Right.
hip specialists and people go to
Right. Or
them for
just the
hip
neck.
pain and that's all they
Right.
do. Right?
Yes.
And then I've seen people who really prefer 60 or prefer 90 or prefer 120 as the therapist because they feel they need a certain amount of time to do the type of work that they do to get the best result. So I actually do encourage therapists, like if you can't stand doing 2-hour sessions, just cut it. If you can't
Yeah.
stand doing 60-minute sessions, just cut it, because you're, especially as a solo practitioner, like this is your practice and you really do need to set up your sessions so that you can be doing your best work, because your
Right.
best work is going to lead to your best success and client results. And so there's a spa mentality and then there's a solo practitioner mentality. The spa mentality is the service menu where you have what I call the Chinese menu full of options. All these
Right.
different massage modalities, all these different treatment times, all these different add-ons. There's like a
Yeah.
million options. And so the client is like placing an order. I want this session with this add-on and this amount of time. Here, service my order. And so the therapist is the order taker. But when you're in practice for yourself, that whole dynamic gets flipped around where you're the expert and you're specializing in a particular
Right.
modality or particular type of demographic or problem that you solve. And so then the client comes in and all they say is, my neck hurts, my back hurts, my foot hurts. And then the therapist says, I'm going to custom create the perfect treatment plan for you.
Right.
And this is what we're going to do. So you're telling the client, this is how I work. This is how I'm going to help you with your neck pain, your back pain, your foot pain. And if that is a series of sessions, you have to be honest with people, like
Right.
Rome wasn't built in one day. You did not typically become a chronic pain client overnight. And
Right.
so this is just like another analogy is like you don't work out one time and then you're in the best shape of your life. You don't
Right.
eat one healthy meal and now you don't have to ever eat a healthy meal ever again. You don't get one massage and expect for 20 years of chronic pain to go away in one massage. This is part of your lifestyle,
Yes.
and this is a training. You're in training. We're
Right.
training your body to not be in these tight tension patterns. We have to like reprogram you to not be crooked, to not be tense. Like every
Yes.
time you get on the table, you're in a training. Like we're training you to be in the state that you really should be in the posture that you should be in.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, that's the mindset. But we have to educate because if clients really
Yes.
don't know, then they really don't know. And it's not their fault, they
Nope.
just don't know.
Nope. Nope. Yes. I mean, I do think a lot of what we do is being a teacher, educating people. And I'm grateful to be able to be in a place where I can do that because I do think it makes a huge difference. So, yes. Um, you you talked about frequency tools. So tell me why you love them so much.
Yes. Well, I think I thought I like frequency tools to me are like coming from these higher mind people, like these geniuses like Tesla and Einstein, who really tapped
Hmm.
into this universal truth that we are all energy, frequency, vibration. And what can we do to sort of harness this truth in a form of a technology, which is interesting. So
Right.
I feel like the whole universe and everything already is set up for energy, frequency, and vibration. And when we take technologies, we're trying to mimic that. So, like the infrared heat that I mentioned before, we already receive infrared heat from the sun,
Right.
right? But how could
Hmm.
we like take this infrared heat from the sun and like turn it into a convenient technology where we can lay on a mat and just press a button and have the benefit similar
Right.
to the sun? And so
Yes.
that's
And
what
more
I think is so
focused
cool about all these
sometimes
tech.
too.
It's concentrated and
Yes.
enhanced, with like amethyst crystals and negative ions and yeah. So I feel like a lot of these technologies are already mimicking nature in a way or mimicking us and our ability to heal each other. And it's just kind of, I think, perfect timing for this like modern society that we're in, where a lot of us are disconnected from the natural world. We're in these unhealthy environments, exposed to unhealthy energies and frequencies, with all the towers and the Wi-Fi's. That this is all like
Hmm.
not how we're designed to be. And so, in
Right.
a way, we need to damage control with these healthy frequency technologies to overcome the unhealthy situation
Yes.
that we're in and all these toxins we're exposed to. Like, basically, we need a lot of help in
Yeah.
addition to the basics of healthy living. So, we have our healthy living basics, and then you add this frequency technology and biohacking and all of this because we're in such a challenging state with our health. And then incorporating some of these frequency tools into a massage session, it's just bonus. You're just like really capitalizing on this resource that's available, but it's also on trend now, and as a business, it is good to capitalize on trends. I feel like I missed the CBD trend when it became popular. And
Right.
so for me, I really wanted to capitalize on the frequency medicine trend, even though it's not new. A lot of these
Right.
technologies were started decades ago. By the
Sure.
time something gets to the general public, it's already more affordable, it's already more mainstream. A lot of these things were used many years ago by governments and the military
Sure.
and astronauts, and then it
Hmm.
eventually makes its way to where you and I can use it. So when some people are like new to this field and some of these concepts are foreign, it's not new, it's just new to you. And
Right.
I like it because I can speed up the healing process. So,
Hmm.
like you were saying, it takes me half an hour to even warm up somebody's body. What if you could speed that up, though? What
Right.
if you
Yeah.
can, loosen up the surface layers so fast that, in 5 minutes you're ready to go to the deeper layers? Or what if you could relax somebody
Right.
faster than 30 minutes? And so I kind of think of these frequency tools as like my staff, my team,
Yeah.
and so like the biomat is helping and the terahertz wand is helping and the sound therapy is helping, and we're all working
Yes.
together, me and my team of frequency tools, to get a
Yes.
faster, better result.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, and
I,
it's less wear and tear on me because
for
the
sure.
tools don't get burned out.
No, they don't. You're so right. You're so right. The whole reason why I even started doing massage was because I wanted to do energy work and I wanted to bring in, energy medicine and healing. And um, so to touch people's bodies, I needed a license. So I was like, well, massage works. So I'll start learning how to do that. And I love massage. So yes, I was a massage junkie too. So I decided that I would incorporate massage. And so energy work just was part of what I did. And cranial sacral therapy, oh, like that has changed a lot for me because people are relaxing and then they're like, yes, come on in. So that works great for energy medicine. Um,
Yeah, everyone has their niche, and the more energetic therapies like craniosacral or Reiki or polarity or any of these are, to me, they're like one step away from meditation. Like I
Absolutely.
feel
Yeah.
like a lot of clients who love sort of the energetic therapies feel like they want to have a meditative experience, but they, for whatever reason, can't create that on their own in their own meditation practice, or maybe they struggle with
Hmm.
meditation, but they want the benefits and the experience as though they're meditating. And I can't think of any better way than on a massage table or under the hands of a practitioner that's doing sort of these more energetic type therapies. Basically, you're meditating people for them, and they
Right.
get to have
Yes.
that experience and they get to feel what that's like because they can't create it on their own for some reason, right? It's like a gateway
Yes.
for them to be able to eventually be able to do it on their own. But it's so much easier. Again, we're designed to help heal each other. And so when you have like, it's like group prayer, like we're both going into the session with the
Hmm.
intention that you're going to have some kind of healing experience. So, both of the energy on board with that goal, it's just going to be easier for it to happen versus by yourself.
Yes. Very well put. Yes.
Yeah.
So let's take that as an invitation to go into your healing because I know as I have held space for others to heal, it has definitely shown me some things I needed to heal. And so it was, especially at the beginning when I maybe wasn't all the way expecting that, to basically show me right away, oh boy, this is my stuff that I really need to work on. How has, holding space for other people to heal, how has that helped you on your healing journey?
Well, I think the biggest is that when I was new, even as a participant, in the healing arts, I was so reliant on my mentors, on my practitioners, on the community, to just even be involved in any of this, to even practice any of this and be consistent. And so moving myself into a role where I'm putting myself as an expert or a leader, I am less reliant on others. Now I'm doing these things myself. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's given me a greater sense of accountability and responsibility to have my own personal practice where it doesn't matter if the people around me aren't doing it, I'm still doing it. You know,
Yes.
I'm not reliant on the community. I'm not reliant on a practitioner. I feel more empowered, I suppose, to live and breathe and walk and do the things that I'm
Right.
helping other people do. So it's, taken 23 years, 22 years for me
Mm-hmm.
to shift from where I'm so heavily dependent on a community to do it to where I'm doing it, whether anyone else is doing it or not, because it's
Right.
just who I am. It's like an embodiment, I would say. When you're
Absolutely.
first learning, it's new, it's knowledge, and you're like trying out a new lifestyle, or it's like trying on new clothes. Like how does
I
this
do. Yep.
feel? But you don't really like
I
live in it and wear it all the time. So having to be that person, to walk the talk, if you will, over time has allowed me to really embody what I'm doing.
Yeah. No, I do this motion a lot. We put it on because it's like as soon as, we might think that something is easy that we're doing, but then if you've decided to start your own business, um, there are a lot of parts about it that nobody tells you that you're going to have to learn that aren't easy. And you have to, learn technology that you never thought you were going to have to do. Or there's so many
Yes.
steps just to even get to the part that you're like, okay, I'm a business owner now. So, yes, you have to be able to put it on and say, I do this now. I am this now. But it takes a while to have the confidence that you actually are doing it. And you
Mhm.
don't get there without healing a bunch of stuff that comes up that says,
Mhm.
you can't do this, or you're not good enough, or all the things, right? We all have
Right.
our own things that come up. And so, has there been something really significant that you feel like was like a game changer for you, or changed your life, or a healing moment where you kind of really had to dig down and really, heal something so that you could really put that on and be that?
Multiple. Multiple. It's like which one do you pick to talk
Yeah.
about? I will say I'm um well, what I just said, this is going to contradict what I just said, because I just said that I feel more empowered to be independent and less reliant. However, in the moments where I am really struggling and I have imposter syndrome, or like, for example, after 2020, man,
Mhm.
that really took the wind out of my sails. Everything closed for me. And
Right.
I did not bounce back. In 2021 was even harder. And I went into this depression and really struggled with where do I fit in the world now, because the world is changing so
Right.
fast. And
Right.
I feel so unsure about what the future is going to be like, and how do I position myself in the world now. It was not easy for me to come out of that. And I feel like I've actually coached several people. All of us had some amount of trauma, especially massage therapists. We were told if
Right.
you're within 6 feet of somebody that you're going to kill grandma. So, I mean, just the trauma of that and trying to do business after that, it was not easy for
Mm-hmm.
me. So I did really struggle, to be honest. And also, I reached out for help again from my mentors and coaches. And so, thank goodness, because they really helped kind of pull me out of the hole and reminded me who I am. You're Melinda, you help others, you do this, you do that. And it's like a reminder, oh, yes. And you can still thrive,
Yes.
And even though the world has changed, like, how can you thrive within this new world? And that was like
Mm.
a shift for me, because I also felt like the rebellion, or the revolution, if you will, is being healthy, happy, successful, and thriving, and helping others heal. And so once I made that shift mentally, and I wasn't just in fear all the time, or just like, woe is me, or it's the apocalypse, or doom and gloom. Once I made the shift that I'm actually, no matter what's happening in the world, just double down on health, healing, success, thriving within my little corner of the world, then that was a big game changer for me, because then I gave myself permission to have my comeback, if you will, and actually
Yes.
just share my gifts in a larger way, and do my thing again, unapologetically. So that was the most
I love
recent
it.
game changer for me. So it was really last year that I had my comeback and really kind of blasted myself out into the world again. And it's been a wild ride this last year, but I feel so happy that I sought the help, I got the help, and I was pulled out of that weird post COVID hole.
Yeah, no, thank you for sharing all that. You touched on a couple of different things. I am a big advocate. I say it all the time. You cannot go anywhere. You cannot manifest, call in anything unless you really truly know who you are, your true authentic self. And that isn't what you do. That's not your job or your title or your certifications, degrees, whatever. That is really what's in here and what you're willing to really see about yourself and heal the stuff that's causing you to really not progress anymore, right? Holding you back, and really look at it and say, I'm a nurturer, I'm a healer, I'm an entrepreneur, I am, I'm smart, I'm brave, I'm strong, all the things, right? That maybe we don't feel like in that moment. But if we only based everything that we want to call into our life with what we have or our degrees, we would be so limited, because we are these super powerful light beings, and we should not listen to anyone else telling us what we are, or what we can or cannot do. And in that moment, you decided that you were going to do that. You weren't going to just be limited, and you are way stronger and really having a huge impact, I feel like. I mean, this is why I even saw you. I was like, okay, wait, she's really doing it. And so um thank you for doing that, and thank you for doing the work in here so that you could continue to share the message and to help others to do the same thing. It's a big deal, and I really am grateful that you did. So thank you.
Thank you
Um,
for all that.
yeah, yeah. Um, so I don't want too much more time to go on without you sharing some of the really big things that you would like to share, and also how we can find you. And yeah, so tell us a little bit about maybe what's on the horizon and what you would like to share with others that you're doing right now.
Sure. Okay. Well, I am in relationship with my partner Scott, and we do have several business ventures that we're working on together. So I would like to share, but I also want to include him because we're working together, really.
Oh gosh, absolutely.
My work is to kind of be the practitioner, the coach, the mentor, the teacher, and his work, a lot of it is the technical back back end of the business. And
Yeah.
but we're also both really passionate about sales and helping the holistic field. So we're a lot we're aligned on. But for the massage therapist offerings, I'm at melindaloolmt.com. That's really my massage therapist coaching site. And I have
Okay.
various courses and programs and ways that we can connect, including the frequency tools and just ways, like I mentioned throughout this whole podcast, that I help massage therapists on melindaloolmt.com. And excited to be rolling out my first retreat. We're going to be in Sedona this November,
Yay.
doing LMT success content and exploring Sedona. So that's kind of new this year. I'm excited about that. But
Gotcha.
also, Scott and I purchased a Tennessee holistic practitioner directory called Holistic Collective, and that website is holistic.tn.com. And that's kind of our newer venture. We're looking to grow that more this year and helping practitioners network with each other, and just kind of share with amongst each other what their specialties are, what their modalities and niches are. We really want to help the holistic field as a whole, not just massage therapists, all types of
Yes.
practitioners grow and thrive and feel empowered in this day and age. And part of that is helping them in the same similar way with massage therapists. I'm helping them succeed in their businesses. We want the same thing to transfer over to holistic practitioners. So we do have like some software platforms. You know, everyone has their website on a particular platform, their online booking, their newsletter, etc. Some people are doing ad funnels and various ways that they market online. So we do have some like really streamlined, niched ways of marketing yourself online that we're going to be continuously rolling out over the next year. And that way, it's for the people who are overwhelmed by the tech side of things. That's where Scott's going to be really in the wheelhouse. And that actually is a major issue amongst many holistic practitioners. We're really good at the
Yeah.
service and
Right.
helping people. And then when it comes to marketing and doing the online text part of it, it's just not our passion, right? We didn't want to
Right.
be online marketers. So that's
Yeah.
where we feel like we have to kind of help and also help more practitioners earn online with additional revenue streams, because there is money to be made online and you can reach
Sure.
more people nationally and internationally, especially in this day and age. And now there's more tools to help us do that so that we aren't so dependent on just in-person sessions in our practice. So I would
I
say
love
that's
that.
like a bigger, larger vision, is to help with that piece specifically over the next year or so. And so, and me as a practitioner, I'm kind of just part time, I would say. If you're in the Nashville, Franklin area, I'm a thermography tech. I also still practice massage therapy and frequency therapies. I tend to be a word of mouth type of practitioner. Like you have to know
Mm-hmm.
somebody to get in with me. But
Yeah,
if you
good.
want to be a client, you know, I only work on Fridays and Saturdays in Franklin. I have a little office that I rent, offering thermography, massage, and frequency therapy. You can message me at Melinda at melindaloolmt if you want to be a client of mine. So those are the
Yeah.
things. Those are all the things.
Awesome. I'm like, everything you're saying, I'm like, I'm just so inspired. I'm like, I love that you have so many different things that you're doing, but they're all focused on, helping people feel good and good about themselves too. And so I totally respect that. And
One of my taglines is we help people who help people feel better.
oh, I
So
like that. That's awesome.
all holistic practitioners, yeah, they help people feel better. So we help the people that help people feel better.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Okay. Well, our community is really fortunate to have you. And there have been different areas in the world and in our country that are more progressive, maybe that have holistic healing going way back. And I feel like in this area, we're starting to really um, actually have more holistic healing, which is
Yes.
awesome because we're a tiny bit
Yes.
behind. But just because it's a little woo woo doesn't mean, we're doing anything, you know, bad. It's all good. So I don't know how else to say that without without going too much more in depth. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing all that.
Thanks for
Wow.
having me. Yeah, no, I'm just grateful that you even have a platform for us to have this conversation so that
Yeah.
maybe if people got a little nugget or a piece of insight here or there, to help them learn more about our inner world as practitioners, as
Yeah.
business owners.
Yeah. I mean, this is just the tip of the
Yeah.
iceberg, really, because there's so many things we could talk about. How do
Mhm.
people find you on social media? What are your places that they can find you and follow you?
Sure. So I'm Melinda Loo LMT. That's more of my massage success stuff. And then we're holistic.collective.tn. That's the
Okay.
Tennessee holistic practitioners. And then I have a third one.
Yeah. Tell
my
me.
my practitioner influencer, if you will, Instagram is frequency_wellness.
Perfect. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate you. And thank you for sharing all your stories and your personal healing journey story. I appreciate that. Thank you. And we're going to talk again soon.